Hello and welcome back to 1874. It's a very special show today as myself, Dan Bardell, and the Athletics Aston Villa correspondent Jacob Tanswell are joined by England cricketer and massive Villa fan Dan Mousley to talk about himself a little bit, I imagine, and also talk about his feelings towards Villa this season and just what it's like generally being a sports person and supporting Aston Villa, because Jacob and I are not sports people, so we don't really know what that's like, to be perfectly honest. This show is sponsored by Luke Roper, and if you want to get 20% off everything Luke have to offer, then use the code TVV20 and you'll get your 20% off. Dan, I'll come to you first. Thank you ever so much for coming on. I don't know how often you watch the podcast, but you did say that you tuned into one last week and spotted a mistake. There was two Dan Bardells on the screen. So you already know that technically we're probably not the most advanced channel in the world, but we are very, very grateful to have you on today. Do you generally watch and listen to a lot of Villa podcasts? Obviously, you're away a lot with your job.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me on. I listen to Villa podcasts and anything Villa 24 hours of the day, to be perfect. I think the boys get sick of me when we're in the dressing room talking about it. Yeah, when I saw that podcast and I saw two Dan Bardells, I messaged Jacob straight away and go, I didn't realise there's two Dan Bardells on the screen. So, but no, mate, I love it. It's for me, it's a way of almost getting away from the cricket.
Okay.
It's just getting involved with Villa podcasts and listening to it, watching all different highlights and stuff like that. It's one thing I absolutely love. So I could talk about Villa for days upon end. I'll never get bored of it. So, but yeah, it's something which I've always followed, and it's sort of, if anything, it's got stronger and stronger as I've got older. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, mate. Anytime. We're always looking for new contributors. A bit too much Tanswell on this channel at the moment, mate. So if you could jump on any time, that would be absolutely fantastic. Jacob, you have facilitated today. Obviously, you wrote an article on Dan a few months ago, a month or so ago. I remember reading it at the time, obviously, about how Dan goes about supporting Villa, what a big fan he is, how many season tickets his family has. Do you want to just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, it was great. It was before one of the games, wasn't it, Dan? It was, I can't remember the game, but we went into the pub before the game, and it just seemed like every 10 minutes there were more friends and family coming into the pub, and we walked to Villa Park together. There must have been eight or 10 of your friends and family. And am I right in saying that that's a common theme of every match day? You gather somewhere and you walk to Villa Park along the same route.
Yeah, exactly that. We go to the Villa Tavern in Neutrals. I've been in there since I've been probably 6 years old. When I first started going, I used to go with my dad. My dad and like my best mates, and they all still go. They sit in the lower Holt. But now with the family, I think we've got 10 season tickets in the upper north. So like every week, whether I'm there, it's usually my brothers will always be there. They're massive Villa fans as well. Cousins, uncles, mom, whoever really. But yeah, we love it. It's always the same tradition. Either meet at my nan's and then park at the tavern and walk down, or go in the tavern before the game. And yeah, always having a bit of a chat, whether it's Villa, cricket, or anything related to the family. To be perfectly honest, it's almost for us. It's a get together. It's a lovely thing to do. So yeah, I'm pretty fortunate to be in that to be able to do that.
Yeah, 10 season tickets. Oh, sorry, Jacob. I told you to do the ear signal and I've interrupted you straight away. I was going to say 10 season tickets. You've probably paid a player's weekly wage on a number of occasions this season with 10 season tickets in the family.
Well, especially with the Champions League now as well. So yeah, we got it back. It was the first season of the Championship. So when I was a kid, I probably had a season ticket for probably 3, 4, 5 years. Especially in the Martin O'Neill era. Me and my dad used to go, and then I had to play school rugby, and unfortunately I didn't really have a choice of, I'd much rather go and watch the Villa, to be honest, but where I went to school we had to play rugby in the winter. So we gave up the season ticket, and like I said, first year back in the Championship, mum and my granddad decided to, well, let's all get together and go to football. So ever since then we've been going ever since. There's been some highs and there's been some lows in that time, but I wouldn't change it.
How, at this part of the season as well, in terms of cricket, because I'm a bit of a cricket badger. Obviously, you're in the county grind, aren't you? In terms of there's so many games, you're doing long trips up to Durham. How does it work with you and your season ticket at this part of the season? You give it away? Are you keeping it?
I guess for us, we've got a big family, so obviously I've got my season ticket. Now it's all on our phones. It's obviously on my phone, but the family go. I usually bring one or two, potentially the Warwickshire boys will come down with me, and we got a couple of Villa fans in the dressing room. So they'll go, but they're always full. We always use them, and I think we probably not missed we missed a Champions League game, FA Cup game, or anything sort of thing. There's a couple of FA Cup games I couldn't go to, but obviously someone went as well. But yeah, for us, it's with the county grind as such. It's probably a good word to describe it. We're playing the games over the weekend doesn't always mean I can get to go to them. But whenever I'm here or available to go, I'm always there. I was pretty lucky on our week off. We had PSG at home, City away, and then Wembley, all in a 14-day period, 2-week period. So I got to go to all them, which was pretty awesome. They're the ones you sort of want to go to: FA Cup semi-final and PSG at home. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be able to go to all the games, but if I'm fielding, the boys will know I'll be either stood next to the umpire asking what the Villa score is, or if I'm on the boundary, I'm asking the fans what the Villa score is. And to be fair, now it's come to a point where even the fans sort of know that I'm a Villa fan, so usually you get the odd shout like, "Our Villa have just scored" or whatever. So when we played Newcastle the other day, our assistant S&C, she's a massive Newcastle fan, like goes home and away. And she was at Villa Park, and obviously I was fielding, and one of our other boys is another massive Geordie fan. So it was, I knew exactly what was going on, and he was getting ripped into a little bit, to be honest. But yeah, don't worry, I always know what's going on, whether I'm at the ground or out on the pitch. I do know what's going on.
Did it ever, like, I've found this, like, I've turned down work and always tried to gear my work around Villa, and by and large, I've managed to do it. Was it ever something that kind of put you off going down the cricket route because you wanted to be at the Villa, or is that just me who puts Villa
to be fair, unfortunately, Matt, cricket is... it's probably the only thing I'm pretty good at, bar talking about the Villa. So for me, I didn't really have a choice, and I love cricket. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's given me so much already. So and I'm really lucky to do it. And obviously there is times where I can't go to all the games. The annoying thing is this year, obviously, us being in the Champions League, I could go to the Bologna and Bayern game, and then my next one I went to was the PSG one. So I had all the videos of the Celtic game, for instance, the Juventus game. I remember I was in South Africa for the Juventus game, and was it Carlos who scored, or was Carlos give the foul? I can't quite remember exactly what had happened, but it was the last minute. I think I've shouted down the whole hotel. It was about 12 o'clock in South Africa, and we've just scored. I think a few of the boys next door heard me celebrating. Obviously, it got rolled out, but yeah, it's just part and parcel of the job, really. Cricket's not a 6-month game anymore; it's a 12-month game for all of us. So obviously, those are sacrifices you unfortunately have to make. But when I'm in the country, I'm always there. So yeah, it can be a bit of jealousy with the family when they're sending you pictures and you're just sat in your hotel room waiting to play in the morning. So, but yeah, wouldn't change it.
Jacob, you wrote your piece a couple of months ago. What was it that kind of made you interested to do it and talk about Dan, and kind of alerting to maybe people that don't follow cricket?
Like I say, I love cricket, and I think at some point in my career I'd love just to go into cricket journalism. I did a little bit of it a couple of years ago, and it's far more laid back and just genuinely nice. You probably see nicer places as well. Like Dan will probably tell you, he went to the Caribbean last year, and when he was playing for England, and I was aware of Dan. I watched him for England. I watched him Warwickshire, and I was aware of that he was a Villa fan as well. So I wanted to reach out to him really and do a piece. I know he knew he went to a lot of games as well. So just following him and doing a different style of piece is something that I really enjoy doing. And I'm not just saying it because Dan's here. It's one of my favourite pieces to write because it's something different, and not a lot of journalists would do that type of stuff. So it's really enjoyable, and picking the brains of a cricketer. I chewed his ear off all the way to Villa Park because I just I'm fascinated by it, and in the next couple of weeks I'll probably go watch Dan. This part of the season is probably when I prefer to watch cricket than football. So yeah, really enjoyable. And if you haven't seen Dan play, I think he's such an entertaining cricketer, and I think he'll play for England a lot more in the coming years. And it's great that he's a Villa fan as well.
I've never been to.
You're joking? Match. Never?
Nah, never. Never. I've got family that work in cricket as well and work for the ECB and T20 and stuff, and I've never.
Dan, I
never,
think you'll
ever
like
been.
it. I think because I'm not sure you've got the attention for 4 days. I think you enjoy the 100 or T20. But I'm actually, like, I spoke to a few agents the other day, and they go to Warwickshire games and they just take their laptop in the stands. And I think I'm going to do that on some working days.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty. If you want to come with me,
Nice.
mate, we can something.
I'll come. Yeah, I'll definitely come. And I said I don't know loads about cricket, Dan, but I know that there's been other England cricketers that support Aston Villa as well, and you kind of following in the footsteps of Chris Wokes and Ian Bell, who are massive Villa fans. Have they ended up being like an influence to you in some way just because of the Villa connection?
No, not really on the football side of things. Wokes is a massive Villa fan, and obviously he's still playing. So I was in the dressing room with him earlier, and all we talk about is the Villa, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Two local boys just talking Villa constantly. And to be fair, it's for me, it's been a family thing more than anything. And like I said, my best mate's a Villa. One of my best mates is a massive Villa fan, and he sits in the lower Holt, so constantly on the phone speaking to him, and it's a family thing. Like my dad followed the Villa 80s, 90s, early 2000s, home and away. So it's sort of, you always got told you support your dad's team, and I've done that.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's a family thing more than anything. And there's a few boys in our dressing room who obviously support like your Liverpools, your Man United and stuff like that. But I try and tell them, I'm like, they were like, why do you support the Villa? And I'm like, well, first of all, it's my dad's team. 2, I live locally. And they're like, yeah, but they haven't really won anything. I went, mate, I promise you, it makes the highs even better. And they're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I went, nah, you don't understand what it's like when you've been in the Championship, when you've had some dark moments, when Dr. Tony was in and we almost went bust. That was, to then see us in the Champions League now it's a special time to be a Villa fan. Obviously, after the FA Cup defeat the other day, I'm probably still not over that, to be perfectly honest, but it does make the highs so much higher, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but we've got Dev here in the chat asking when was your first game and what was your first game. This is going to make me feel incredibly old. I can feel already.
Villa or cricket?
Villa.
Matt, I reckon, I'd have been 3 years old.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, as soon as I can sort of like, I couldn't pinpoint my first, my gut feels it was like West Brom.
Okay.
But Matt, I'd have been like genuine 2, 3, probably 3 years old, genuine, going down with my old man. So they're probably not a game I can particularly pinpoint which was my first one, but like I remember like all the Martin O'Neill era and stuff like that. It's to be fair, it's quite a long time ago, to be fair. But as a kid, it was always cricket and Villa, if I'm being honest.
Because you'd have been born in the 2000s, wouldn't you?
2001.
Both in the 2000s, Dan. Can you imagine
You
that?
as well. Jeez.
I'm a year older than Dan. Yeah.
My first game was 93.
Well, we've got boys in our dressing room born like 2007, 2008. Which, even for me, I can't quite get my head round. Obviously, I'm 2001, but one lads 2007. He's playing in the first team now, and it's just like.
But other day, Dan, in the IPL, that 14-year-old.
Yeah,
Really?
I know. I can't scratch I can't even comprehend that was just unbelievable, to be perfectly honest. But that's the way that you just, as you get older, it happens quicker than it by what it seems like.
Yeah. Just talking about, obviously, Villa, have you had much of a relationship with the club in recent times? I saw you were in the programme in the recent game as well.
Yeah, so not really. I went to one of the women's games. They were playing Man United, I think. We had like 100 thing on, so I had to go and do some like the 100 stuff sort of thing when you're talking about the 100 and speaking about the Villa, and it was, as soon as they offered that, I was like, absolutely, get me there. So I think I'd just flown back from Abu Dhabi, landed in the morning, and then was at Villa Park at, I don't know, whenever the game was, 2 o'clock or whatever it was. So literally dropped my bags off at home, quick shower, straight to Villa Park. But not really had anything to do with the club, if I'm being honest. The thing in the programme was a lad who plays locally, like just local village cricket. He knows my brothers really well. And he was like, do you fancy like going in the programme? I was like, oh, I'd love to do that, and put me in contact with that. That was pretty cool. The 2 programmes got delivered It's been 3 or 4 days ago now. So yeah, they're in my cupboard upstairs. Like to try and keep as many programs as I can, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm going to steal Dev's question here because it's a good question. Do you know of any Villa players that are big cricket fans?
I've honestly, I don't know. I don't know any of the footballers.
Okay.
I don't know any whatsoever. To be perfectly honest, it's for us. It's quite separate with the football side of things, because our link with Warwickshire now is with the Blues, because
Oh,
obviously
really?
the Phoenix has just been bought. So the team I play for in the 100 just been bought by Knighthead.
Oh, yeah, I did
So
know that.
so
Yeah.
so probably in the next 2 years it'll probably be a bit. The football will be more obviously with the Blues. So I don't really have anything to do with the football lot sort of thing. I went to school. I'm not from Coventry, obviously, but I went to school in Coventry. So like I didn't grow up with anyone who were really involved with football that side of town. So no, not I don't know any, if I'm being honest.
There is one. Morgan Rogers was apparently quite a precocious cricketer back in the day. He used to be an all-rounder as well. So he's got a bit of an interest in cricket, but I'm not aware of anyone else, I don't think.
I think Neil's been pictured at the cricket before, I'm pretty sure.
Just on Rogers, like I don't know him, but I'm in the office at Edgbaston. So you walk out the dressing room and the offices are next door. So I usually go and sit in the office. There's a massive Villa fan in there. I'll give him Richard Evans as he travels home and away, and I'm straight in the office. He'd been to every game, I think, this year, European nights and wherever. And he said actually his lads played with Rogers. I think he was at Hell's Owen.
Makes sense.
That's probably the only one. Obviously Villa have got quite a few foreign players, and in Spain and in Argentina they don't play cricket, do they? So I can't imagine Emi Martinez understands 4-day cricket, to be honest. But you never know. You never know.
Have you got a favourite? Have you got like a favourite player at Villa?
Now,
Or both actually, now and probably ever.
my favourite player was Grealish. And
Yeah.
even now, I love watching Grealish. Like, obviously, he's copped a bit of stick over the last probably five years since he left. And in my position, like, I completely understand why he went.
Yeah, I'm the same.
And if I'm being like, he did so much for the club, like £100 million transfer.
Oh, we've lost Dan.
Can you see?
Oh no, he's back.
Can
He's
you
back.
see me?
Yeah, we've got you, I think.
All good, mate. You're
All
good?
I think you're back.
He's moving.
Hello?
Can hear you. Can you hear us? Oh, we got some technical issues there.
I mean, I don't think this might not be our fault on this occasion. Oh, he's gonna go and come back in. Well, here we go. I'll let Dan back in now. Here we go.
Sorry.
Don't worry.
We talked about being a shambles. I'm the shambles. I'm so sorry.
Always
sorry, that was
goes
my
wrong.
uncle phoning. Who goes to Villa,
no.
and I said to him,
Yeah.
"Whatever you do not call me now. Call me tonight." And he's just called me, so he's obviously not listened in the slightest. I put it on do not disturb. So, sorry about that. Yeah. So just on the Grealish thing, like for me, he was my favourite player. He'd done so much for the club, got us up. I actually give some of my favourite moments as a Villa fan. Ashley Young was another one under the O'Neill era. He was unbelievable, and obviously went to United and ended up. Obviously won a lot of trophies, but he dropped further back, and at the end he was playing as a fullback. So I actually don't know whether I actually saw the best of Young, to be honest. But he was another one. Probably my favourite player now. I'm gonna go with Tielemans or Kamara.
Okay, nice.
Like obviously for me, Kamara is one of the best holding midfielders in the world, and he doesn't get the recognition I think most Villa fans see in him. And Tielemans this year has been awesome. When he came in, it would have been last year now, but he didn't get a proper run of games until Christmas, at least Christmas time. And now he's first name on the team sheet for me, and I love watching Tielemans play. He can play anywhere from the 6 to the 8 to the 10, to be perfectly honest. So Tielemans is the one for me. So I love watching him play.
He's an absolute shoe-in for player of the season, I would say. We let you go, Dan. Do you think 5? You have to put your neck on the line now.
No, I don't.
Gonna do? You don't.
Nah. But you know what? What's going to hurt us the most is going to be watching the teams above us, whether it's Chelsea, whether it's Forest. And if Man United or Tottenham win the Europa League, which one of them one of them is going to, that's going to hurt more.
Yeah.
Because there's like the Bournemouth game, for example, when we actually controlled the game at home and we concede last minute, drop points there. You only get 2 points against Ipswich, home and away.
Yeah.
Like those are the times where if we're going to be a consistent top 4, top 5 club now, whatever it's going to be over the next few years, you have to win those games. And I was there at the Etihad the other week, and I remember Villa fans going like, "Wow, we've missed an opportunity." I was like, "Right, people wouldn't whether Man City have struggled or not this year. Going to the Etihad, we ain't got a great record, full stop.
No.
So obviously conceding last minute was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but it was you can live with losing there, but what you can't live with is losing to drawing to Bournemouth at home and Ipswich not picking up full points.
Yeah.
So that's what hurts more. But not, if I'm being, I don't think that. But I'm also one of those Villa fans who's like, well, I just wanted European football, like whether that's Conference League or Europa League. Granted, we probably should be in the top 5 with actually when we've actually been at our best. We are one of the best 4 teams in the country,
Same.
but it's a 38 game season, and it's not you can't just do it just because we play well against PSG or whoever. You have to do it across the 38 game season. So I don't think we will, but if we got Europa League, I'm still chuffed for that. Like it's a semi-final of the FA Cup. We'd have took that at the start of the season, whether if we put in that Palace performance or not, but also getting to a Champions League quarter final.
Yeah.
Of course.
I'd have snapped your hand off for that. So people are a bit like doom and gloom at the minute, but there's like we are going to win stuff like over the next however long, as long as Emery's there. Emery can do whatever he wants, to be perfectly honest. Like we will win stuff. So like I know Emery, it's a cliche thing, but the trajectory, he always keeps on speaking about that. We're in a good place.
Yeah.
So I would, like I said, I wouldn't change the position we're in now.
No. Well, you know what? If we get 9 points, I think we'll just about do it, because not every other team's going to win every game. So Saturday, sorry, is huge.
That's the hard. I think that's the hardest game.
Yeah.
I think Tottenham and Man United basically don't care about the league, do they? So Bournemouth's the hardest game. They're a tough team stylistically.
Although we'll be vintage Villa to win the next 2 and then end up losing to Manchester United's third team, because we're horrible against Manchester United.
It would. To be fair, Liverpool looked like they were already on the beach on when that had been Sunday.
Yeah.
Because we just finished. We had a 4-day game which finished in 2.5 days. So I watched the whole of the Liverpool game, and straight away I was like, "No, there's absolutely no chance they're going to help us out here." So
no, upsetting.
That was hard to take, but unfortunately, you can't just rely on other people. Unfortunately.
No, and I think you're right. I think some of those results in the first half of the season, and probably looking back at the summer window as well, I think could end up being some regrets at the end of the season. You got anything? Obviously, as we know, I don't know anything about cricket at all. What's like the next big thing for you now?
Well, we've got 3 blocks of championship games left, so it's 3 4-day games, and then we have T20 from, I need to test it me now, end of May until July, and then you have the 100. So those are the next sort of they're the next 3 months. What it looks like. So obviously 4-day cricket, it's a slower paced game. T20 is a bit more. Go and give it a whack and try not to get hit for 6 basically. So that is very much the T20 is the exciting period. I love 4-day cricket, and we're doing well. I think we're second in the table at the minute, but that's the next 3 months is once you get through these next 3 4-day games, we're into the T20 block, which is exciting because obviously you're playing in front of packed houses and TV cameras and all the old glitz and glamour of that. So
yeah, okay. Well, we wish you all the best in what's to come for you. Obviously, you're very, very young as well, so you've got plenty of years ahead of you in your cricket career. And I'm sure you me and Jacob can get together for a beer, whether it be this season or next season. I'll get myself down the cricket with Jacob.
I'm going to Warwickshire v my county Hampshire on the next weekend. So
oh yeah,
if you're free, Dan, we'll go.
I'll check my calendar. I'll check with the boss and check my calendar. See see what's going on. But Dan, thanks ever so much for
No
joining
worries.
Jacob
Thanks
and
for
I
having me
today.
on.
Absolutely, we'll definitely have you on again as well. You can come on anytime you want to come on and talk about Villa. Just let me or Jacob know, and we'll do it.
I can do that. No worries. Like I said, I could talk Villa far easier than cricket, to be perfectly honest. So,
Brilliant.
yeah, thanks for having me on.
No, lovely stuff. Okay, then. Thank you to everyone that's joined us live, and thank you to everyone that's going to go on and watch and listen as well. Please do all the things that I bang on about every single week, and do go back and check out the content from the last few days as well. Be back over the next couple of days, of course, with some content as well. Obviously, we've got the match against Bournemouth coming up on Saturday, so there'll be a preview around that and maybe some other content as well. So keep your eye on our socials and on our YouTube and audio platforms, and you'll know when the content is coming. Thanks again to Dan. Thanks again to Jacob, and as always,